Now, during World War II, Libby's beef products were included in soldiers' emergency rations. Hi there, beautiful YouTube! Welcome back to Vintagely Yours. I'm Chloe Jean, a World War II reenactor with a YouTube channel dedicated to civilian life on the American home front during that conflict. And today we're going to be talking about 3 popular brands of food that are still on American shelves today. A popular brand of ginger ale that you will find on American supermarket shelves today is that of Seagrams ginger ale. But the history of Seagrams extends far back into the 1800s and hundreds of miles from the US in Ontario, Canada, where it was founded by Joseph E. Seagram in 1857 with his business partners George Randall, William Roos, and William Hapsler. In 1919, unfortunately, Joseph Seagrams passed away, and in the 1920s, the Bronfman brothers bought the company, and they kept distilling whiskey, and they ventured into rum and imported rum to the Caribbean and Puerto Rico in the 1920s, and also had some dealings during Prohibition in the US. And by the 1940s, they had ventured into winemaking. Unfortunately, even with my research, I cannot pinpoint the year that the company branched out into making a non-alcoholic ginger ale. However, I do know by our era they are selling a non-alcoholic ginger ale in the US, because in Time magazine there were ads for non-alcoholic Seagrams ginger ale during World War II. Another brand that we find in the American supermarket today, as well as the 1940s grocery, is that of Morton Salt. And this is another company that has a well-established history, actually beginning in 1880 in Chicago, when a 25-year-old Joy Morton joins the E.I. Wheeler Salt Company as partner. Now, by 1889, Joy has bought shares in the parent company, Richmond & Co. Salt Manufacturing, and in 1910 he owns the company and rebrands it as Morton Salt, Salt Manufacturing, and Salt Merchant. This is when they develop their iconic Umbrella Girl logo. And in 1914 they became a well-known brand when the company starts advertising nationally. And in 1924, they developed something called iodized salt, which is supposed to help one with goiters. And throughout the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, they really worked to establish themselves as a trusted American brand. And by the 1940s, they are on the shelves of almost every American store. They go through another rebrand where Umbrella Girl gets her now iconic yellow dress. And they decide that they are going to expand into adhesive, drugs, and chemicals. The final brand that we're going to discuss today is actually Libbys canned goods. And before they were producing the canned pumpkin and sliced pineapple that we all know and love today, they actually began in Chicago in 1869 producing canned beef products. The cannery was founded under the name Libby, McNeil, and Libby because the founders were brothers Charles and Arthur Libby and their brother-in-law Archibald McNeil. They became really well known after they started packaging their products in a trapezoid-shaped can. And they began to be so popular that by 1880 they employed 1,500 people, and by 1900 they were employing over 2,000 and had decided to expand into the canned vegetables and fruit we know today. And their popularity began to grow so much that by 1904 they decided that they were going to expand into condiments and sauerkraut. And in 1905, Admiral Byrd chose Libby's beef products to take with him on his North Pole expedition. And during the First World War, Libby's beef products were used in soldiers' emergency rations, and in the 1920s they were bought by Swift & Co. and expanded so much that they built plants in the Northwest, the Midwest, Delaware, New York, California, Hawaii, and commissioned their own salmon fleet. They also built factories in England, Holland, France, and Germany. During World War II, again, their beef products graced an American GI's rations, and they were one of the first companies to receive permission to go over to Europe after the war to help provide food for displaced persons and also to rebuild their plants. There are many, many brands that we know and love that our grandmothers and great-grandmothers used during the Second World War. And I had so much fun digging up the history on these 3 companies. If you would like this to become the pilot episode in a series, drop your vote down in the comment section, and I guess majority rules. If y'all want in a series about World War II brands we still use today, I will make it into a series for y'all. I haven't been on camera in quite a while, and so I just wanted to take this time to welcome all of my new subscribers to the channel. And whether you are old or new to the channel, I want to let all of my subscribers know that you mean the absolute world to me. I have wanted to begin a renaissance in civilian history during World War II and kind of raise a monument to the sacrifices that those on the home front gave. And each and every one of my subscribers is a part of that renaissance. So I am extremely, extremely grateful for each and every one of you. So that is it for me today, and I'll see y'all in my next video, which will be a fun one. Bye!